Booyah! Booyah! Hello, everyone. Welcome to the TV Ramble. That right there is my poor impersonation, but again, it was sort of a tribute to the great Stuart Scott. As some of you probably know right now, Stuart Scott passed away yesterday morning after his long bout with cancer. Of course, cancer was discovered back in 2007. Then he went into remission, and then came back again with a vengeance. And really one of the real true guys that probably one of the best sports anchors I've seen on ESPN. Really kind of changed the way people look at sports in terms of highlights and in terms of ways being delivered to the fans than just the usual typical, uh, straightforward reporting that was going on back then. And of course, he came on the scene and really just changed everything. And now what Stewart did is sort of being mimicked by a lot of other people, but it was sort of revolutionary at its time, and so it was just revolutionary. But again, the passing of Stuart Scott, age 49, was his last appearance, of course, was at the ESPYS back in July of 2014, and a lot of people he did made a few couple appearances here and there, but I think for a lot of folks were kind of knew that this could probably be the end or the last time they would see Stewart. But again, true man, a lot of courage, dignity, and one of the best. And obviously, all the tributes being poured in from since the news yesterday morning all the way till today. You've seen, of course, the president made offered his thoughts, of course, from all the sports stars, colleagues who are in sports media, as colleagues in the news media as well, have offered their thoughts on Stuart Scott, and sort of as like a community, like a brotherhood, if you will, of sports reporters, sports media types, all you know showing concern and obviously offering their thoughts on Stewart's passing, and he will be missed, and it won't be anyone like him again. And obviously, our thoughts goes to the entire ESPN community, and of course the Scott family, of course his two daughters, on the passing of Stuart Scott. So also let's look at the quick overnights from Saturday. The NBC pretty much won the night pretty handily with the Steelers and Ravens game. Pretty much was no competition. The game got a final rating, I think, of 28 million viewers tuned in to see it. Look, when Steelers and Ravens are on TV, it is must see TV. It's probably one of the better rivalries right now on in the NFL. Right there with, of course, the Packers and the Bears and Cowboys and Redskins. Um, so I think that was pretty much the number one show of the night. I don't have any of the ratings right now for last night, and they should come in sometime between the morning 11 Central Time, my time here in Mobile. As you can see, I got my coats a little chilly out there this morning, so we'll get those numbers. Also, in other TV news, um, there's of course all the networks, as I mentioned, are going to be coming in this evening with all new shows. Of course, started last night. New episodes of Sleepy Hollow on Fox, as well as Gotham. Of course, the season premiere of The Bachelor. Seems like you know typical reality programming. That's really not much really to say. I mean, it's been a success for ABC all these years now. It continues to do very well, and we'll see how that turns out. Of course, CBS has its comedy lineup back this Monday today, and of course that should be well on its way. A lot of shows are basically now are going to be making their push. Networks going to be making decisions as we'll get closer to March and April where a show will get renewed or get canceled. So we'll go from there and see how that looks. But again, like I said, all new episodes tonight. All the networks are back, fresh from the holidays, and ready to start the second season, if you will, of the 2014-2015 TV season. Also, of course, news. Probably know Mike Huckabee has left Fox News. Sort of a surprise, but not really a surprise. I think it seems obvious that he's getting ready to make a run for the White House, like many candidates, both on the Republican side and the Democratic side. We'll see how that turns out. I like Huckabee. I've heard his talk show when it was on before he left doing his nationally talk show that I heard here in the Mobile area. So, and of course, his Fox News show. Very good personality, very down to earth guy. Um, we'll see what happens. Also, as we're going into that season right now, also it mentioning the move by NBC to move the blacklist on Thursdays once he makes his debut after the Super Bowl. Again, we'll see how that turns out. We'll see how that takes effect. What will that mean, and what will that do, and where will that go for NBC? Will it help? I don't think it will. I think it's still going to be uh, ABC winning that night pretty much handily. I think they got those three shows. Grey's Anatomy obviously is getting a little bit older, as well as um, Scandal, and then of course How to Get Away with Murder. So those shows seem to be doing. To me, ABC is going to win that night. I don't see how NBC is going to make a competitive effort, but Blacklist is a very good show, very well written. Love James Spader, and love the entire cast. Of course, Henry Lennox is also on the show. Big fan of his, so we'll see. But that's pretty much it. And like I said, I'll have all the overnight numbers of tonight, and of course, and everything other TV news that may pop up today. Again, really nothing much is going on right now. I think everyone is pretty much getting ready to come on, start. We'll see any news if anything happens this coming year. Well, let's talk this on the horizon. Obviously, none of the shows are what shows are going to be um, being renewed or canceled, but also a lot of new shows are going to be making their debut, series debut this coming this part of the season now as we in the winter now and going into the spring. Um, Gallivant, another show that a comedy show with John Stamos and Ricky Gervais, who are making guest appearances with Al Yankovic. We'll see how that do, and that's and also a couple other, and also Thursday Night Football. Will CBS renew Thursday Night Football? Will they keep that since it has took a big chunk out of the Thursday night lineup for the networks, for the other networks? Even though some of the matches were not that good and they were pretty much blowouts, but still really propelled CBS to that night, and I think it's worth for them. Of course there'll be a lot of other bidders making a run at it. NBC, which I think needs it, but hey, you can't have them. Nothing wrong with the NFL on another night, and since they do have the number one show on Sunday Night Football, um, ESPN, will they put their games, their Thursday night package on ABC? But ABC is doing well right now with their three shows mentioned: Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder. Do they really need it? Of course, Fox was also going to play a part, and then of course you'll have other bidders from the other cable networks, FS1, Fox Sports 1, and NBCSN. So a lot of things to be decided on where we go from here. Also, if you follow streaming, of course, my favorite show is also going to be coming back in next month. House of Cards. I'm looking forward to that, and I will not give any spoilers out there to anyone on that show. So I'll let y'all. All I'm going to say is that if I see something that is interesting, I'll just maybe mention it maybe a few times, but that's about it. I won't spoil it. Since of course, Netflix and Crackle and even Hulu are putting a lot of good shows on their streaming networks, and are really really starting to put a real dent, if you will, or a little flexing, if you will, of the other, not only for the over-the-air broadcast networks, but also the cable networks as well. So a lot of things to look at, a lot of things to talk about. So I'm going to wrap up this session here. So again, I will see you later this evening with all the latest overnights. And y'all have a wonderful day. Enjoy Monday and keep watching the TV.